To put it another way, we want to give them superpowers so that they have significantly more functionality than a regular human, not just that their brains are functioning normally again. That is a huge deal. Could you define Neuralink and describe its purpose? To control your thoughts, we implanted a chip in your brain. Yes, all right. Okay, worries have not been allayed. There you have it. Who wants one now? Well, dive right in and step right up. Because every gadget that is implanted in a human must pass numerous tests. Neuralink will be visible from a great distance. It goes at a very slow pace. After doing a small number of people at a time, you go to great measures to demonstrate your safety. The FDA approvals must be followed. We're not attempting to circumvent any regulatory permissions, for example. Really, we're following the book to the letter. In fact, from a safety perspective, we're going well above what the FDA requires. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Neuralink's most recent developments are being tested on humans now, so we're getting into some very futuristic stuff. Yes, you heard correctly. We are discussing Elon Musk, brain chips, and what may be the beginning of a new age in human-computer interaction. Hold on tight as we examine how these innovative technologies are not only altering lives, but also have the potential to change how we interact with the world in the future. But first, be sure to subscribe to Tesla Stock News and like this video to show your support. First, let's hear a major update from Elon Musk. In just 2 weeks, Neuralink's eagerly awaited second human trial was supposed to start, but things took a turn for the worst. Due to an unforeseen turn, there has been a minor delay in the countdown. A patient who was scheduled to participate in the trial has opted out. Now this is more than a small setback. It brings up a few significant issues. First of all, why would anyone choose to withdraw from such a groundbreaking trial, particularly at the last minute? There could be a variety of reasons. Perhaps it's the possible risks involved, or perhaps the reality of participating in such a high-stakes experiment began to weigh heavily, cold feet, as some might say. After all, there are risks involved in taking part in innovative medical trials. Additionally, the risks can be intimidating, even when the rewards could change your life. This raises the question of how openly the participants are informed of these hazards. Do we need to give ethical issues more careful thought, particularly in light of cutting-edge technology that is physically invading our brains? It's only 2 weeks late, which is quicker than my mechanic, but really leaving at the last minute. I hope it's nothing serious and that they're all right. Let's move on to something that sounds like it belongs in a science fiction film. A man named Nolan is the first human patient to have his advanced Neuralink brain implanted, and it's functioning perfectly, people. With just his thoughts, Nolan can now play video games and browse the web. Amazing, isn't it? But he's not merely joking around. He is working on Neuralink research for 8 hours every day, accumulating 69 hours of brain-computer interface time per week. 69 hours a week is dedication. There are those who struggle with the touchscreen on their phones alone, and that's more than my work week. Nolan, go. Let's examine Neuralink's most recent engineering achievements in more detail. They have been diligently improving their brain-computer interface by carefully introducing 64 incredibly thin threads into the brain's motor cortex. There are 16 electrode sensors on each of these threads. If you do the arithmetic, you'll see that 1,024 electrodes are actively interacting with the neuronal network in the brain. Imagine that our thoughts, motions, and sensations are controlled by an electrical symphony that is tapped into by over 1,000 tiny connections. However, the number of connections is not the only factor. Neuralink recently made a major advancement in stabilizing these electrodes. Here, stability is essential. Without it, reliable data flow and security may be jeopardized. They have also been improving their software algorithms in addition to this mechanical stability. This is a significant improvement that increases the precision and efficiency of these electrodes' communication with computer systems, not only a small adjustment. What does this signify? More seamless, dependable, and quick brain-computer communication, opening the door to applications we could only imagine. Imagine conversing without using words or using gadgets with ease using your thoughts. That's absurd. Additionally, the first devices will be rather simple. They will focus on helping those who have lost the link between their brain and body to function again. Imagine, for example, that Stephen Hawking could speak or interact as quickly as someone with a fully functional body. That would be incredible. Therefore, it is our goal. Our primary use is to help quadriplegics and paraplegics regain their function, as well as those who, for whatever reason, have a limited or non-existent connection between their brain and body. The restoration of vision would therefore be the second use. Therefore, you can still directly stimulate the neurons in the visual section of the cortex if someone has lost their optic nerve and is entirely blind, so that the brain may get a direct visual signal. Actually, you could see in different wavelengths depending on the cameras you use. In fact, I watched ** Star Trek, the Next Generation * episode. The special effects aren't as good as we're used to seeing them. However, a man wearing wraparound glasses has the ability to see in a variety of wavelengths, including ultraviolet, infrared, and others. In fact, you could. Radar is visible if you wish to see it. In addition to bridging the gap, Neuralink is quickly closing it, bringing us one step closer to a future in which our brains and machines are inseparable. Science fiction is not what this is. It's the intersection of technology and neuroscience, combining more than 1,000 links. The majority of Wi-Fi networks are unable to support 10 devices without experiencing slowness. This is where things become even more technical. Neuralink had a few problems with the retractability of its electrothreads. The movement of the brain itself and the air spaces between the brain and skull have been identified as the two reasons. Indeed, there is a 3 mm jiggle in our brains. They intend to make a few surgical adjustments to address these difficulties. First, controlling CO2 levels during surgery to prevent air pockets and shaping the surface of the skull to ensure that the implants fit securely. However, they are still unsure of how to manage the mobility of the brain during operation. Air pockets and moving brains. Doesn't that sound like a task for superglue and duct tape? I do, however, sincerely hope they find a solution without making it into a Frankenstein project. Neuralink is delving deeper rather than only playing around. Literally. In order to improve connectivity with the brain, they are now expanding the thread depth. How? For a smoother electrode insertion, go for the high areas on the brain's surface and avoid those elusive folds. Additionally, they reduced the number of electrodes per thread from 16 to 8. Why? In fact, it makes neurons easier to reach. People, less is more. Avoid the folds and go for the high points. They're making it sound like brain landscaping. Sprinkler systems will be installed up there before you realize it. Now fasten your seatbelts and keep your hats on because Neuralink is not stepping up, but rather advancing its technology. An incredible 3,000 information pathways are being created between the human brain and computers. Imagine if in order to interact with technology, your thoughts and mental orders are traveling at lightning speed. Not only are we talking about speed, but we're talking about instantaneous. This is a radical change in how humans might engage with machines, not merely an improvement. Fast and next level, quite effective. But hold on, this tech saga is not over yet. The goals of Neuralink go well beyond simply making computer commands and information retrieval faster. Blindness is one of the most difficult medical diseases they are aiming to treat. Imagine a society in which those who have lost or may never have had sight could be able to see again because of technology. At this point, science fiction starts to resemble science reality. For those of you who keep up with Elon Musk's endeavors, there will soon be an exciting crossover. Neuralink is interested in integrating its humanoid robots with Tesla, using what they're referring to as digital telepathy to establish direct communication between people and machines. This place has incredible potential. We might be witnessing scenes from the most inventive science fiction films, in which robots and people work together harmoniously, with each advancement opening the door to previously unimaginable potential. Therefore, dig let me know.